Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Pacer Travel YouTube live stream show. I'm
Yay!
Marty. That's Jeff, Bobby, and this is our special guest, James Ebert. Welcome, James.
Thank you for having me.
All right. I don't know if we've got a couple hundred viewers in here yet, but
Not
sure
yet.
they'll be coming in any moment now. James is the winner of this past weekend's Southern States 200 on the beautiful Pinhoti Trail. Back-to-back winner. He is the only winner of that race as it stands right now. So must be the course record holder. And that's pretty impressive. Also for our Florida listeners, and we have a lot of those and watchers, second place this year at Long Haul. So welcome, James. Why don't you start by telling us a little bit about yourself, your running story, maybe 5 to 7 minutes.
Or
3 to 5.
So I've been running, I think, about 5 years now. I've run Mount Mist 5 times anyway. So, which is what kind of got me into it. I used to do ultra distance gravel cycling. And so I did that for a few years, and then Mount Mist was kind of the local race. And I thought, well, that'd be a good time. I ought to do it. It's just here in town. I can probably run 30 miles if I, get out there a little ahead of time. So I did that, and I really liked it, and kind of drifted away from the cycling aspect. And so just kept pushing out the miles to longer and longer races. And so now I'm running 200 milers, So I've done across Florida in 23, I think. I did that one to get ready for Southern States and learn how to run a 200 miler. Because logistically it was easy. My dad, lives down near Fort Myers. So he was able to come up and crew the whole thing along with my brother. And they've been crewing me at the big ones since. They did Southern States both times, and they are absolutely fantastic about it, or at it. I think the aid stations are more impressed with them than they are with me. I get a lot of comments on how good they are and how fast they work and how organized they are. So it's really good to have them and have a good crew.
Yeah, thanks, Julian, because I was looking at the fourth fastest time, because for some reason, I'm looking at the Cross Florida, and they have it so mixed up, I can't figure out where you were.
Unless it's changed, I have the second fastest time in 55 and like 20 or something like that. So somebody may have beaten that in the last year. I'm not.
Yeah, the record. Well, now it's under 48 hours, right?
Whoa,
yeah, 48 hours.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I do remember that now. That's right. Those two guys went back to back and dropped the times. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it got hard to keep up for a minute. Every weekend, it seems somebody was beating the record.
Yeah.
So
James, what are some of the 100 milers that you've run?
Pinhoti 100 was my first, and then I did the Grand Slam for Pinhoti. So Stone Anvil, Hunter, Endurance Hunter, and Georgia Jewel. And then this past year I did Arkansas Traveler, went back to Georgia Jewel, and did Long Haul. And so I've done 700 milers, I think.
Okay.
What did you do at Endurance Hunter?
Oh, I had a rough race. I finished 5th in like 26 hours. So it was back to back with Stone Anvil, and I messed up my knee at Stone Anvil, and or reverse that. I think Endurance Hunter was first, because I know I limped around for like a month after Stone Anvil.
Yeah, I'm assuming your PR was long haul. Is that right?
It was, yeah. I PR'd at Arkansas with 19 hours, and then I got down to long haul, and that was a much more conducive course.
This year.
So yeah, I was pretty proud of that 16:45.
Right.
That's a good time.
So the mountain got, a lot of mountain people don't do well on flat courses, but you did okay.
Yeah, I did all right. That was something I got way more beat up at across Florida. I think just the amount of pavement, but also just all the flat. I think I ran the first 100 there in like 19 hours or something.
Oh, wow.
But then, at the end, my Achilles gave out that last day. I walked the last 30 for 10 hours to finish it up. So I think that flat, like you said, it just going the same kind of thing. No up, no change in your muscle groups really wears on you.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Cool.
tell us about Southern States.
It's a beautiful race, and you should all come visit Alabama and Georgia. It is,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I just really love that race.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to know about the start of it, and you said you've run Georgia Jewel twice. So, and it starts in Dalton. So you actually skip the rock garden, right?
Yeah, I think you skipped that first rock garden because we come up, I think, on West Aramuchi Road, if I'm not getting confused here. But we start kind of parallel and take some other trails up and then we tie in up on the ridge somewhere and do the long ridge run and make that hairpin where everybody gets lost and takes a left instead of cutting right down the road. And so a lot of the first miles are the same. And then you get to Snake Gap, and from there, up to Johns Mountain and down into Dry Creek is all very similar. The route we take into Dry Creek's a little longer. We take some bike trails through there. That changed a little this year. We got to spend more time in the creek down at Dry Creek this year. Last year we only crossed it once, and that was like right before you got there. And so this year, when I crossed the creek, I was like, all right, I'm almost there. And then I crossed the creek again, and I was like, all right, I'm almost there. And then crossed the creek for the third time and hit the road, and we were there. So yeah, that's all really similar to Georgia Jewel, which is nice because I'm real familiar with it. At this point, I've run those sections 4 times. And really the first half of Southern States is the easy half, in my opinion, until you get to Flagpole and Indian Mountains, because you have a few ridges you go over, but for the most part, you climb up a ridge, you run the ridge line, for 10 miles or so, you drop down to the gap, you hit the aid station, climb back up, run another ridge line. A lot of it's forestry road, a lot of it's real runnable in the first half. Then you hit Huffaker and you're on the road for 14 miles, which you make good time, but Black Shield, Black Burn, some road you're on for 4 miles is really narrow shoulder. And I hit it as people were going to work, I guess, because there's a lot of traffic on it. So that was a little sketch, but unfortunately, that is the Pinhoti Trail, and there's no trail to route around it, right? It's just how Alabama decided to, or how Georgia decided to put things together. So, but once you get through that, then you're up into the mountains again, and you climb up over Flagpole, which wasn't as bad this year. Last year, I did it in the heat of the afternoon, and it just wrecked me. But Indian Mountain is a private ATV park, I guess, that the Pinhoti cuts through. And so last year, they were having a big get-together up there. And there were all these ATVs ripping up and down the mountain, spilling beer cans out. They were having a blast. It wasn't too bad for me during the day. they were all real nice, real polite. But for the folks coming through on day 2 in the middle of the night, finding these guys blaring music with lights going off and stuff, I bet it was quite an experience. And that whole section, it's hard to navigate. The blazes are really sparse. It's all rock gardens. There's not a good place to put flags in. And so I just find that to be probably the most challenging leg at Southern States, is getting up over those 2 mountains. But then you're into High Point, Alabama. I've slept there both years. And from there, I think the second half of the course is much harder. It is, you're up and over a lot of ridges. You're not running along them as much. And then you're down in the valleys. There's a lot of water you got to, try and skip over or get your feet wet. Second day, everything's moving slower. You're just tired. This year, it was real cold early in the morning, and the wind across the ridges was just cutting through you. So, yeah, I mean, then it's a lot of hiking until you get to Cheehaw, and then it's about a 5-mile hike up the mountain, and you pretend it was easy.
Which side do you come up on, Chia? Do you come up the side that you run at Pinhoti, or do you come down the side that side?
The same way as Pinhoti. We get there a different way, and I'm not sure if it's been 3 years, I think, now since I've run Pinhoti. But you come up that side. You're not going up Blue Hell.
You good. Look like on that section at Pinhoti, and right before it got dark, I'm like, I couldn't imagine going down the other way. But that climb is pretty. I mean, you got to climb up some rocks to get up it.
Yeah, because we're taking the Pinhoti Trail up until we hit the fork, and we take that little half-mile jaunt up to the like the boardwalk and the lodge. And so really it's kind of a gentle grade, I think. It's a lot of hiking. There's not, so last year I was trying to beat, 49 hours. I was trying to get in before the hour, and I ran probably the last 1.5 miles, 2 miles of that. And we were hiking it this year, and I was like, I can't believe I ran this crap last year.
Yeah, last year you did it with about 1.5 minutes to spare.
Yeah, it was tight. So I was glad I ran. But this year I didn't have to worry about the hour ticking over on me. So
yeah. What was your favorite aid station out there?
Oh man. Absolutely. No, man. So they told me that they were going to be out there, right, and to look for him and stuff. And I came in. I think they were at Jackson Chapel, and I came in. I completely forgotten that they were going to be there. So that was really cool that I ran into them, and that was a nice surprise, because from there it was up over Flagpole and Indian. So that was a nice little bit of energy, good juju before I had to go do the hard work.
Yeah. I forgot when we went live last week, we were in the middle of the race. I'm like, oh man, we should arrange to get a hold of, your crew. And then afterwards we're like, well, Andy and Amy were out there. We should just call Andy and Amy. But then I guess we don't know how cell reception was out there. And
yeah, some places it's good and some places you don't have any. Another thing about this year, I think this year was a lot harder. And if you look at the times across the board, I think that holds up, right? That heat the first day was just, and it wasn't that hot for you Florida guys and gals. You don't like a week ago, we were down in the 40s, right? So for those of us, north of the frost line, there was no time to acclimate to that heat. And I think that it was really hurting people. And then that first night, it was 60 until like 4 a.m. when the rain hit. And so I know that I had stomach problems the whole race, just kind of a real light stomach, having problems finding things I could eat. and just a general kind of lethargy that never, just kept kicking my butt, and I carried that the whole race. And I think it hit a lot of people this year, because on paper, with the cooler second and third day, I know I thought there was a chance that maybe I'd come in a little closer to my previous time, but it didn't work out that way.
Yeah. Times definitely show. If you look forward, it's only been around 2 years, but it shows. So,
So if we go down, if anyone can read that, Corey Waltering, second place, was still 12 hours behind you.
Yeah.
That's
And
but
he
he's a
made
pretty
a
impressive
comeback
runner.
like
So
nobody's business. I don't know if you guys caught that. He had it real rough, I guess, that first 3 sections. And he was way back. And then that first night, he just rolled up half the field into like 4th or 5th place. Because I know when I went to sleep, Ashley and Amanda were battling it out in 2nd and 3rd place. And I was like, how cool would that be? I've raced with Ashley a few times, so I was really rooting for her. But yeah, Corey made up a ton of time that first night. He really rallied.
Yeah, what's funny about Corey was he didn't jump into the race till like the day before. He was planning on doing like a 30K that weekend or something like that.
Yeah, I think he was, because we talked about that a little. We chatted at the start of the race heading up through that first leg, and I think he was doing what's that up in Chattanooga? Or not Chattanooga, Asheville. The 55K.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember the name of it.
It's going to kill me. Anyways, but yeah, he said he was slated for another race that weekend, and that's why he was down south and heard about this and thought that was a better fit getting ready for Cocodona.
Yeah, I know you mentioned chatting with him in your recap. I read that in your recap. Is that the first time you've met Corey, or did you already know him?
I've talked to him a little prior. I've never met him in person. And so, but yeah, that's my first time meeting with Corey. I know who he is, obviously, having well, I take that back. That's not the first time we've met. He ran Mount Mist in 23, and we finished real close to each other, and we chatted very briefly at the finish line. And, but I mean, it was just, hey, good work. And then somebody drew my attention later to who he was.
Yeah. A fun fact about Corey is he plays a small part in me being here right now. I tell a story all the time on my podcast about being at a race in Blue Ridge, and the first and second place winner are battling it out, and the first place guy trips and falls, and the second place guy stops and helps him up and pats him on the butt. Well, that was Corey that did that. And that's what, it showed me the trail running community, how we're even at the front of the pack. They're uplifting and supportive. And so big props to Corey for that. Good dude. He's a good dude.
All right.
Well, we should mention there were 2 Florida runners that finished Southern States. So
yeah, they were out of Miami, right?
Yeah, both out of Miami, about 30 seconds. I just lost the tab.
I got it. I'll pull it up.
Yeah, so I'm assuming they met up. I don't know if they know each other previously, but they finished right next to each other. So they
I'm sure they had to know each other.
Well, one of them doesn't have. This was his only thing on Ultra Sign Up, or her. Yeah, they don't really have extensive. One of them had more extensive background than the other. So.
Oh, it did show up in there.
But they could be hikers or something too.
Yeah, 4th place was 21-year-old from Georgia, Callan Haslam.
Oh man! So let me tell you a story about this kid, because I was at the finish line, and met him when he finished. Tremendous effort by him, but we're kind of talking, and he's got some blisters on his feet, and I was talking to him about that, and he goes, "I had one pair of shoes." This dude ran 200 miles with no spare shoes.
Wow.
That's pretty hardcore.
Yeah. Impressive.
All right, Andy's telling us Leanne Hood did the 100, so we probably shouldn't forget about the 100.
And she's going to Cocodona. Is she Florida?
Yes, she's
Oh, cool deal.
the Keys, I think.
Is she down in the Keys? All right.
That's where I met her. So I thought she was from around there. I could be wrong.
I will
Andy
be
probably
out there
knows.
this week. This year, I'm not running, but
Yeah,
I
Key
will.
West.
Key
So
West,
are
okay.
you running again next year, James?
I said I wasn't going to run it again this year, and then I got tempted into it. I love the race, and there's probably a better chance than not I'll be back. But it's that's the whole spring, right? You build your spring around running a 200 miler, and so there are other races I'd like to do. We'll see what happens.
Well, I want to pick.
Sorry.
I want to pick your brain next year when we get like late fall, so I can tweak my training to give myself the best chance for success.
Absolutely.
You feeling a little FOMO, Marty?
Yeah.
What? So were you feeling a little FOMO?
FOMO.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, Andy. I was going to say, Andy, let's talk this week, and I'll be out at Cocodona, so we'll have to meet up. So I fly in on Wednesday. Trying to pick up pacing duties with Simon.
When is Cocodona?
I fly May 7th. May 7th I fly out. And then we got the Flagstaff 40 on Friday. Grand Canyon on Saturday. So the race starts on the 5th. So I'm pretty excited about that. It'll be fun. So now I know I can meet up with Andy out there. We have a place in Flagstaff if you need to rest, Andy.
So James, you got other 200s on the radar, or any that you're signed up for already?
The rest of my season's pretty flexible at the moment. I know I'm going to be running the 12-hour, the Run for Kids 12-hour. It's a local race. Try to do a little better than last year. And I'm going to be running Blood Rock in December, run the 100-miler. I had to drop down to the 50K because of my knee after Arkansas this past year. So really excited to do the 100. I've been trying to for a couple of years now. It's never worked out. But those are the only fixtures at the moment.
So there were enough runners in the 100 this year to make David decide to bring it back another year.
It looks that way. I'm hoping it stays that way, but at the same time, I'm anxious to go ahead and run it.
Cool.
All right, we ready for Hungryland?
Hungryland.
Appreciate the recap, James. Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we had Hungryland this weekend down south. I think we had several people that are in the chat. We're down there this weekend running. And I was leaving it to either Bobby Joe or Marty.
Go on in the chat and tell us all about Hungryland. Well, I know that Miss Katie got her first 100-mile buckle, so congrats to her. Woohoo, Katie!
Katie has had a killer year. She is the female version of Luke and Arian. She runs every race, it seems like, and is crushing right now. So big props to her. She did like the Florida Death Race a couple weeks or before that, and what else? She did. I don't know if she ran the Two Prairies race or she volunteered there. I know she seemed like she did the triple. What did they call that? Where they got the buckle, the skunk ape.
Oh, and Swanted. Painted Swan or Painted Horse and Swan Song.
So Katie's killing it out there. Big props to her.
Katie has the best quote I read about this race. This is right off for her.
Her race recap.
But she rallied. Great
So Scott Hoover got the first. He was the first one to 100.
Yep.
And then he was the only one to get nine loops? No, he got nine loops.
I think Mikey said today that he was the only one that chose to go extra loops, period, over 100.
If it's a 33 hour, you run 33 hours. People need to know how these timed races work.
Get your money's worth.
But you know
that's how timed races work.
What's funny is, though, if you look at everybody else's time, well, I don't know what the last 100-miler is. I can't see after John Parker.
There you go.
Okay, so there's some that went long. I was going to say, if Scott was the only one out there running and everybody else is done, all the volunteers were probably saying, "Come on, Scott, stop it."
It's going to show other people to do it next year. So sometimes all it takes is one.
I got it when I was there last year cooking, and everybody talks about gators in Florida, but I promise you, I have a video to prove it. I wish I could have sent it to Jeff ahead of time to show it. That is the biggest gator that I've ever seen in my life. And you know how fish stories they grow. When I saw it, it was 15 feet. So now that thing is 30 feet long. It had a largemouth bass in its mouth, and that bass weighed 5 pounds at least, and it was flopping around. You could see that much on each side of its head of the fish. That's how big it was. And lots of people saw it. Chris Stengel saw it, and some of the
they're
others.
They're just swamp puppies, Marty.
And that thing was like 30 feet from where the aid station was. Maybe 30 yards maybe.
30 feet, 30 yards, same thing.
Yeah. So congrats out there. You guys had Lucas Vidal was out there second, John Parker, some of the few other ones. I don't know, Nicholas and Jolie, I don't know who that is, but Joshua, Alberto, and then farther down, you had a few. I know Nick was out there.
Was Emily first place female for the 100s?
Yep, Emily.
Yes, Katie said she was second.
Second, okay.
Yeah.
Katie was second. Emily was first. Yeah.
No, yeah, that's what I was asking.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Tricia McFadden got her first 100 too. Congrats to her. She's a regular volunteer down there in the South Florida, the Jupiter area. I met her at several of the Mikey B's, and what's his name? Dresses Dupuis.
Oh, Leo
Acosta.
Yeah.
Cool deal. Cool deal.
Good race. All right. We get to the.
And if you haven't noticed, we are using a new live streaming platform. We're able to do a little bit more with it tonight, so we're pretty excited about that. So
yeah, let us know in the chat. What do you think of all these graphics? How cool is it?
We can put up things like Katie complaining about we could do her quote there, or
we could
do
fun stuff ready.
We could do this one. We could have Nicole talking about loop 3. Wait, no, hang on. Yep,
yeah, you got it.
Katie. Wait, here's Nicole talking about it.
So I'm assuming loop 3 was probably in the middle of, I would assume, the heat of the afternoon.
Yeah, so that's mile 29 to 40-ish. So yeah, it's that area. It's right close to Lake Okeechobee, but there's not the trees are not real high over the trail, so there's no protection from the sun. So in South Florida, it gets hot. It don't matter if it is early March.
Yeah, cool deal.
All right, heading over to the other.
We got some big races in the
big races.
Community.
We don't. I mean, these are big too, so I don't want to take anything away.
So we can either go across the pond or stay in the States.
I got Big Alta up next.
All right, Big Alta.
Get that.
This is out just north of San Francisco. They had a 50K out there. second year of this race, put on by Free Trail and Daybreak, I believe is the other company out there. They kind of go together. The course, I got video of the course in a couple minutes. We'll show that, but this was a great. This looks like it could be grow into a big race. Could potentially be a golden ticket race in the near future. I think next year, rumor has it they're going to add a 100K. They say they're going to add a longer distance, and everyone thinks it's going to be 100K. So,
okay. They had 170 runners finish the race under the 7-hour cutoff. New course record set by Eli Hemming.
Yep. So both Eli and his wife won it. How did that pop up? Look at that thing's popping up over here. So Eli won the 50K, and Eli's wife, Tabor, won it on the female side, and she won the shorter distance last year. So she's first person to win both distances. Pull up. This is a video of the course.
Honorable mention. Keely
Anything you want. Everybody say what? You can be the whole villain. Build it like a beginning. Spin it like you're Bob Dylan. Anything you want. Everybody say. Everybody say.
Okay, that looks fun. Maybe we should make that a destination run for next year.
I think I know where that is. Is that just north of the Golden Gate Bridge? Where they have that?
Yes.
It's technically Marinwood.
Marin Headlands. Yeah.
Marinwood, California.
That is some beautiful trails there, man. But talk about buttery.
Maybe there's a travel company that could set us up with how to get there, where to stay.
It's not a rock within 50 yards of that trail. This is straight dirt. Straight dirt.
They had some fog on the top of the mountain when the lead runners went over, but the videos were still pretty
And the
cool.
fog looked cool.
Yeah. So
if only there was somebody that could find us, where to stay near the.
Well, that's what they said was it's there's a lot of hotels, a lot of stuff out there, so that may be on my bucket list coming.
San Francisco is a great city for tourism, man. It's a lot of cool stuff to see there. I ran the Big Sur Marathon 2 years ago and spent a couple of days in San Francisco and had a blast. Great stuff. Cold as hell, but it was fun. We went out through the Alcatraz thing, and that wind was blowing like 100 miles an hour, and so it felt like it did at Long Haul 3 years ago.
Well, come on now. Maybe they'll have it. Maybe it'll be warm for it if I go.
Yeah. I mean, and the good thing is they're going to offer 3 different distances. So the 100K would be good, and then they got the 50K, and then I forget what the other one was. It a 28K or something? I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool. So that's definitely on my bucket list. Last year I wanted to go to Gorges. I got knocked out Gorges Waterfall 100K. I think this one's going to be my next 100K. I think I'm doing Black Canyon next year, but after that, I think I would like to do this one. So looks like a cool race.
I'll go cruise.
All right. Sounds good. I'll
run the 28K and crew you.
And then we'll cross over to the pond to a UTMB race, the Chianti race. This was a golden ticket race. You had some big hitters in there. You had Jim Walmsley. You had Killian Jornet. You had Vincent. I don't even know what his last name is. I just heard he was a big hitter over there.
I just had it. Wow.
Who do they?
So it's what 128K. Is that what it was? 125, 123.
Yeah. For some reason I thought it was a 100-miler, and then Jim shows up winning it in like 9 hours. I'm like, well, I think I'm off.
Yeah. The winning. Yeah, Jim won it in 9:59:48. Killian was 10:27:27.
And then Vincent was
Vincent Bouillard.
yeah. So he won.
Oh, it's French, so you don't pronounce half the letters.
Bouillard.
Yeah, I think he won UTMB within the last. Did he win it last year? I think he won UTMB last year. Jim was already in. I think there was 2 tickets at stake. Jim was already in. So Killian, Vincent secured second place. So there's a lot of stipulation, like, did Jim just blow them away? Was Killian holding back just because his goal was just to get the golden ticket, so he didn't quite care about challenging Jim. So, but it looked like Vincent was leading going down the last descent, and then they hit the climb, and Killian passed him at the last climb into the finish line. So,
Vincent did win UTMB last year.
Okay. Yep. So I think that was what everyone was hoping for. They were hoping for Killian and Vincent getting in, so that
Western States is going to be stacked.
I was just about to say that Western States is going to be lit this year. I'm glad I'm going to be at the 55-yard line.
You are. So if this was a year to watch it, this would be the year.
This is the year. I mean, in 14 hours in, it's going to be all over. So
yeah, they're talking about.
I didn't think Jim would run it 2 times in a row, but the press I saw said he was definitely in for this year.
Well, he's
definitely in.
Yeah.
So he finished the finish line, and he made like a 1 and 3. And so people are like, was he referring to bib number 1 for male, or was he referring to 13 hours at Western States?
Well, if we go back to Big Alta and talk about everyone's favorite podcast / coach / high carb runner, David Roach.
We didn't mention David Roach.
Yeah, so he did DNF. He had big plans for Big Alta, and didn't quite work out. And he did sprain his ankle, but in his words, he just went out too fast. He tried to keep up with Eli, and he said there was no way. So it was a lesson in run your own race. He thought he had the fitness, and if you watch his training, everyone who was rooting for him looks like he has the training, but he says his confidence was hurt a little bit because he really wants to win Western States. But then when he sees what he's going up against here, and then what Killian and Walmsley and everyone's doing over there, and it kind of humbled him to realize that, I mean, he's putting in the work, but it's not going to be easy.
Still got a big mountain to climb.
It's going to be a race to watch, though. It's definitely
going
to be a race to watch.
You're going up against Eli, who they say is one of the best 50K runners in the world.
Yeah, and that's what he said too. So maybe and David Roach is even though he's crushed his last 2 100s, those are his only 2 100s. So he's like, maybe I'm a 100-mile runner and I didn't know it. But it is good, because if anyone is, just for all of us regular people, you can learn from it as well, especially if the good thing about training races, having B races in your plan, running your own race, not trying to stick with the fasties right off the start, catch up with them later sort of thing. So, even the pros and the elites and the people who've been around forever make the same mistakes as we do. So,
Yep.
That time for that race was like 3:19 or something like that, wasn't it? For the 50K, it was crazy.
You're talking about that Big A?
Yeah.
Big Alta? 3:19.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's a Boston qualifier for the 50K.
Well, and David Roach said that after, like, there's 2 mountains, or there was an up and a down on the third one, Eli just took off. And there's like there he held on to him for a little while, but he just in the last bit of Eli just had a whole other gear. So he said even if he didn't sprain his ankle, there's no way he would have caught up or kept up. So
Yeah. Solid.
Well, he's
solid
gonna make
effort.
He's gonna make it fun. All right, back on Keontae. We don't want to leave out the women, and there were several races out there, but everyone was focusing on the golden ticket race. So on the women's side, you had Fiona Pascal. She won in 12:34. Then Johanna Antilla 12:53. I think our top American was Abby Hall in 4th and Stephanie Howe in 5th. So congrats to them. That is Keontae, and that's all I want to talk about on a UTMB race. I guess there's 2 more golden ticket races. You got Gorges, and then you got Canyons, which Canyons is another UTMB race. So the rumor, I mean, hopefully what people think is Big Alta may pull the Canyons golden ticket race. That would be great. So
yeah,
it's fun. If you haven't lined up at a golden ticket race, it is fun to line up. I think I've done what's the one in Texas? Bandera. I've done Black Canyon several times. I mean, it definitely has a cool vibe to it if you do that. So I don't know. Every time, I don't know if it's on automatic comments. Every time someone comments, it automatically shows up.
I did that.
Oh, Marty did that.
All you got to do is all I got to do is click on it, and
yeah.
I was
I'm like, what did I do? What did I? All right. Back stateside, you had the other big race. I don't know if you followed. We had Crown King Scramble. This is another.
That was a good one.
Yeah, this is another great race. I would love to do it. It's who said not interested?
Me.
Oh, did you say Marty?
Not interested in running that. It's 29 miles uphill and the last 2 downhill.
It is. It's literally mostly the first section of the Cocodona course.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So it's a.
I hope you've got some good video to share because there was some good video.
Do you have the course profile, Jeff, of that?
I don't have it.
It's literally a 29-mile climb.
Oh yeah,
and 2 mile down. There's no
definitely
down,
is.
up and down. It's all up for 29 miles.
Yep. I do have video. This is. So who was the winner? On the male side,
Eric Blake.
Yeah, he's out of West Hartford, Connecticut. So I got a buddy that runs in West Hartford. I'm like, hey, do you know this guy? He's like, nope. I go, well, I just found you a running partner.
Well, he's done a ton of marathons. So I looked him up. Ton of marathons. I mean, this was his first ultra, which was the coolest thing. I don't know if that's the video you're going to show. I don't want to spoiler alert for anybody.
No, the video I have is of Courtney.
So when Courtney won, the whole thing when she finishes.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see. I just have the first part.
Yeah. So the one that Aravipa shared of her finishing. So female winner, Courtney Dauwalter, new course record.
The goat.
But she comes in and she crosses the finish line. She's smiling and waving to everybody and sees the other runner there, the male, shakes his hands. Oh, you won first? He's like, yeah, it's my first ultra. She's like, what? And then it cut out. So that was really the news, was who is this guy from Connecticut that just shows up and beats Courtney?
Yeah.
So
right, so my buddy that I used to train with now lives in West Hartford, and he's a 2:30 marathoner. So I'm like, you need to find this guy.
Yeah, it's too bad. There's not some, how we have ultra sign up and we can look up everybody's background. If there was some sort of way for us to do it with.
So here's the video of Courtney finishing.
How you been?
Man. And everyone, that is going to be a new course record on the women's side.
Courtney, welcome to Crown King.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, about 5 seconds later is when she meets the other runner, when she meets Eric Blake.
Where does he show up? He doesn't. It doesn't look like he shows up as a top 10 finisher on there. I didn't see what his time was. Oh, I got it right in front of me. 4:12. So last year the winner did it in 3:41. So they're about 30 minutes off of what. And David Roach did it 3:44 last year. So I think still for his first time, that's a great race.
Yeah.
For him. So.
Answer to Andy on the chat. Yes, it's definitely on the Cocodona course. It's north of Bumblebee and Black Canyon.
Yeah.
About
I can't
30 something miles north of Black Canyon City, I think.
Yeah. Yep. So definitely a race I want to go to. So, but there's too many of them out there. Everyone we keep talking about, I say I want to. So, all right. Then one of the other ones, until I was looking at results, Badwater Cape Fear was this weekend.
Right.
All right, Marty, take us to Badwater.
Badwater Cape Fear. The two winners are both Mount to Coast athletes. That must be the 50K you're looking at there. Yeah, it is. I'm talking on the 50 milers, the only one.
On the 50 miler. I don't know if I pulled the 50 miler on it. Did I get the? Nope. I think you know why I pulled this one because Mark Kudak's on there.
Now you're in the. That's weird. So this must. Did he run it this year?
Is that 2025?
Yeah, it looks like it. But Cole Crosby was the winner. I don't know where these results are.
Maybe I pulled the wrong results. So
I
couldn't find the results.
But I mean, I know what it was. Cole Crosby was the male winner, and Kaylee Frederick was the female winner of the 51 miler.
Okay.
I know because
that's why we were talking about it. I'm like, I can't find because Dusty was up there, and I couldn't find the results anywhere.
I saw his recap, and he said he had a rough time, and he ended up dropping down to the 50K, and he said he thought he was DFL.
Yeah, but I still.
Do they let you do that at the 50K point, or do you have to do that before you start?
Yeah, they let you do it on the course.
Oh, okay.
He said he was going to miss the cutoff, and so they let you do that. I know I won't call the guy's name, but I know the year that I ran it, a friend of mine that traveled with us, shared the Airbnb, was doing the 50K. And before you get to the sand, you've got 12 miles to run on like golf cart roads around the little village of Cape Fear. And then you run like 1 mile in this jungle. I mean, it's like really dense trail with undergrowth and stuff, but it's a nice little trail, but it's just real thick, lots of curves and stuff. And then you hit the beach. And so this guy had hit the 12-mile or 13-mile mark when it was time to hit the beach. He missed the cutoff. So they would not even let him go out there and start on the sand because he was, he didn't have a chance to beat the 50K cutoff. But anyway, so Kaylee Frederick got first female, and Cole Crosby.
Oh, yeah. She did an 8:12. Chase Price won it on the men's side. I think I'm looking at the right results. I don't know.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Cole Crosby.
Yeah, this is off the Ultra Runner magazine, but who knows if it's taking me to the right link. So it shows Kaylee. I don't know. So we won't. I may or may not have it. So, Andy, do you know?
I was trying to pull up Badwater's post.
So, all right. Yeah, I don't know what site it was taking me to. So, all right. One of the other, this was cool. I was following this one. The Ohio Backyard Ultra. You had a Harvey Lewis in there. He won it with 208 miles. So they went more than 2 days. So congrats.
48, 40. What's that? 50 yards?
Yeah. I think it's 50 yards.
Yeah,
So,
50 yards. And did you see his finish? His spectacular sprint finish.
I saw a sprint finish, but I couldn't figure out what was going on.
Well, I think it was more the people that were watching, because they showed it. If you have the sound on, he's huffing and puffing and does like a big woo when he goes, and it looks like he's trying to make a cutoff. And you look at the time and he's got like 15 minutes left. So everyone's standing around is like, why is he doing that? I was like, that's what Harvey does. So
yeah. Cool deal. All right. I mean, there's a bunch of other races. I think there's Lupapalooza up in Panhandle, stuff up there. Just too many races just to kind of track. They had one out in Behind the Rocks. This was an interesting race out in I think it's Utah, out in Moab. And you had Matt Daniels winning that one with Anthony Gonzalez in second, and Brian. I think Matt and Brian are the Boulder boys, and so they took first and third in that race. So that they said that was a pretty tough race out there. It's fast, but tough to do. All right, now let's talk about some upcoming races. Some stuff coming up this weekend. It's not an ultra, but you got the Andy Matthews Withlacoochee River race. I think they have the marathon, the half marathon out there. Hopefully, I'll see some of you guys out there. I will be out there. I am not running, but I will be cooking burgers for everybody.
I did that race last year. It was fun.
Yeah. Were you on this? Is this the new course?
Yeah, it's the same one,
okay.
Right, Andy? He knows better than I do, but I believe so.
Yeah. So kind of excited about that. And then the following weekend they got the Fools Run, where they got some couple distances. I know there's some space. I know there's still some spaces left in that race. What else this weekend? You got Georgia Death Race up in Georgia. Trying to think who's running. I'm trying to look it up to see who we have from Florida.
Jamie Saunders and
Jamie. I saw Jamie on there.
Britta Devitt.
Andy says this is not the same course.
Yeah, it's a different
that I ran last year. So this is the new one.
Similar course as where the Colt 45 was, right?
Correct. Yes. Yep. Britta's on there.
For GDR.
Judy Reynolds too, I believe. Yeah, Judy Reynolds.
Yeah, I think they're both kind of going for redemption. Judy DNF last year as well, didn't she?
Jamie too.
Oh, they all did.
Good deal. So that will be fun to follow.
Now they have Eric Keenley. You know who that is? He is going. He's going for the out and back on the Georgia Death Race course this year.
Is Eric really?
Yep. So that's
a name I haven't heard in years.
He's starting at the finish and running to the start, and then going to run with everybody else.
Really? That if you're an old, I'm trying to find his name if he's on here. Because he lives out west right now, right?
I'm making sure I'm saying the right name.
Yeah.
Eric.
Eric Keenel from Missoula, Montana, but originally he used to live in Orlando. So he was a big Florida runner. He used to scare the crap out of me. Luckily, we never ran a race against each other. He was going through his ultra sign up. I remember when he did Ouray. He went out and ran Ouray. he has some 24th overall at Georgia Death Race. Great times at Cruel Jewel. He was a great runner. There's a great story. I mean, if you can hear that guy's story, he has a pretty cool story. I think he was smoking cigarettes and just stopped and just started running, and has no background in running. And he was a fast guy. So, like I said, I'm glad I never had to race him. I
Seemed like he did real well in that mid-state mile up there too, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's done it. I think he's done it a few times. Yeah, he's got 120. He was second in 2022. So, all right. Oh, he was first in 2023. So he's done it a few times. Yeah, he was cool. I remember right when COVID hit, he was doing the you had to run every hour, and you had to do like a mile or two every mile, and it hit right when my birthday hit. So I did it. I think I did 45 miles, but I had to do at least a mile to 2 mile every hour. So it's pretty cool. And he was doing it at the same time over in Orlando. So cool deal. I'll have to follow it. So I'll have to reach out to Eric. So cool deal. What else we got? Marty, you're going up to, I don't even know how to say it, so I'll let you say it.
Tefusky Island, 150 and relay.
Yep. So this is their second year, correct?
Yep.
All
That's right off the coast of Hilton Head in South Carolina, just above Savannah. It's supposed. I've never been there yet, but our buddy Jim Miller ran that last year, 1 week after running Space Pirate, and he completed both of those. So big props to Jim. Shout out to Jim. But anyway, it was pouring rain last year, and he told me that I think it's a similar distance loop to long haul, 16.67 or something like that, and it is, I want to say 13 miles of like the golf cart trails, some dirt, like dirt road, and some paved blacktop. And then you have about 4 miles on the beach. And supposedly the beach is hard sand, not soft sand. So it's not bad. It's good, because you get some scenery and some ocean breeze. And so they said it's usually sometimes where you're in the neighborhood of rich people, they don't like for people to be there, but everybody says that they think the community there is real supportive of the race. So that's a good thing. Cool deal. And then do we still have Julian saying we're trying to figure out what the SR 70 across the state is? State Road 70. They're doing a journey run from like Jupiter basically across to Bradenton.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I'm not familiar with 70. So it's down south.
That's a highway.
Do we know if we still
right across?
Do you know if we saw someone on the Cross Florida right now? I know there was.
Yeah, I think Melinda Hooper is still at it. She and JD McGee started Monday.
Oh, they're all done. I mean, she's all done. He's all done. She's still out there.
Right, that's what I mean. Okay. I said Melinda Hooper's still, and he's crewing her.
Yeah, last I heard, she was lost and they were looking for her. I'm pretty sure they found her, but that was this afternoon at
where Melinda is. Let us know
at 2:20. They're like, her crew has found her and they have made it out of the woods.
And Andy,
so that came in this afternoon.
Andy says,
John Bauman starts tomorrow, so he's going after his redemption.
At the rate we're going,
I'm getting pretty good with these comments.
90% of the Florida ultra running community is going to have done ACFL. So
we need to do a live stream across there.
When they do the 200,
us three.
Yeah.
I'm not going on those trails ever again. I am scarred for life. I will pace anybody for the last 30 miles.
Cool deal.
We'll
Someone's
follow
giving
James's GPX map.
is better than the James's route is better than the GPX route.
Oh.
So, all right, now let's talk about other stuff. So, I know we talked about the Barkley last week. No one, blah blah blah. No one finished it. But what's cool is right before that they were we had 2 videos come out which were pretty cool. I've watched one of them. I haven't seen the second one. They put out a video with Harvey Lewis and they put out a video with Jasmine. I haven't seen the Jasmine one. Waiting for this, but
Jasmine one's really good.
Is it good?
It's shorter. It's only like 18 minutes long or 20 minutes long or something.
Well, you know why it's only 18 minutes long?
Why is it only 18 minutes long?
Well, their goal wasn't to film Jasmine Paris.
Oh.
The crew was going out there to film Joe McConaughey, and Joe dropped after loop 1, and so they kept filming. And then after Jasmine finished, they're like, "Well, do we have enough footage of Jasmine to make a Jasmine video?" And
I didn't know
they
that.
had enough footage. So if you watch, they weren't focused on Jasmine. I haven't seen it yet, but this is what I heard from.
Yeah, it's a lot of interviews. It's a lot of post-race interviews and B footage, so you can tell they went out there and filmed her or wherever they were, just climbing a mountain and that sort of thing. So
yeah.
I didn't put that together, though. I just listened to the interviews.
Yeah, here's the here's a preview of that video.
There's never been a woman that has finished all 5 laps of this race. Why do you think that is?
The race is too hard for women. They are simply not tough enough to do it. And I get to say that for as long as it goes, that no woman proves me wrong.
If a woman gets onto the 5, she won't be able to finish it. That's just based on history, mathematics, and facts.
When I heard that people thought that a woman couldn't finish this race, I sort of saw that as a kind of personal challenge. Let me prove you wrong.
Yeah. Hey, can I say something real quick about
a lot of aged like milk comments in there?
Yeah. My friend Howie Stern has an amazing picture of her as she's leaning over the gate and drool is hanging from her mouth. And it's one of the most iconic pictures in ultra running. And this guy,
I gotta vote for the other picture. I like that one better. The one of her under the gate.
Thanks for killing my
Just saying.
But anyway, what I was saying
amazing
is
pictures.
This guy Howie goes out to these races on his own expense to take these pictures in hopes that he will get some pictures that he can make some money off of. And he's now selling that print for $100 for a big one that's framed. There you can get smaller versions for cheaper and digital versions, but people steal it off of Instagram anyway. But if you're interested in having a nice print of that, you can get it off. You just check on Howie's social media.
Yeah,
hey, and if you're interested in hearing more about him, you can watch the interview with Marty. You know which one it is?
Which episode? No.
Yeah.
I would guess maybe
it's in the 90s.
Yeah, maybe 94, something like that.
Yeah.
He's an iconic race photographer.
Oh yeah,
everybody wants their photo done by him.
When I got my picture taken by him at Black Canyon a couple of years ago, it was like I have arrived.
That's all you need.
All right, I gotta set up. So the other video that dropped about Barkley was they followed Harvey Lewis. And I'm gonna pull my favorite scene. I think Bobby Joe. I think you posted this on your Facebook, and see if you guys. There's a little something cool in there for you guys. Hopefully you're watching, Andy.
You ready for the weekend activities, honey?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. How's Carly and Chance?
They're good. They know
have to go for a walk when I get there?
Yes, absolutely.
That'd be good. They'll be happy about that. We can do whatever. We can get the Mexican food tonight. We could even go to commune in Columbus or.
You got
Big
one of those,
500.
don't you?
I got that one.
Hey.
I remember when he got that. That was after the mud run.
Yeah.
Which, for him to almost not finish that, and then he got his 5. It was funny because he was in there. We were in the pavilion, and he's like, "Where's my buckle? I want my buckle." I think Andy gave it. I can't remember exactly what happened after that because I was talking to him because is that the year that he did, or right before that is when he set the record at Biggs, and he still didn't, and he did everything else he did that year and still didn't get Ultra Run of the Year. So I was mad for him about that.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, I was rooting for you. I'm sorry you got robbed.
James, you gotta go. You gotta go get me. You gotta get one of these.
That's 4 more trips back to Florida.
It's right next door.
It's a little longer for me than for you guys.
Harvey came from Cincinnati, so I mean.
Well, Harvey does a lot of things I can't do.
Hey, we want to make you an honorary member of the fur community, Florida Ultra Runners. So you got to at least do 1 race a year with us.
Well, that's not too hard. But my folks being down there, it's nice because I've done Depew or Dupois, however you say it, twice now.
Dupuy.
Come down for Dupuy. Done long haul, because those are a little closer for them than coming up to Georgia or, Tennessee or wherever I'm running, which is nice.
All right. And then what else? We got another upcoming race. We're about 31 days away. You got the Skunk Ape. And it looks like they got 16 spots in there. And then this weekend they had their preview run in the Joe Miller birthday party. Birthday bash.
That looked like a good party.
Yeah. So looks like they had fun out there for the preview run. So that's coming up. You got 31 days for that. That's going to be exciting. What else do we got to talk about? If you're looking for a good podcast this week, you got the Miles with Marty. He interviewed Davy Crockett, not the folk hero, but the he's a legend in the ultra community.
King of the wild frontier, baby.
Yep. King of the ultra frontier. So that's a great, seriously, if you like running history, that is a great podcast you need to go listen to.
Well, yeah, because Davy Crow, he's been on a lot of podcasts, but this is the first time I actually heard his story. So normally people only talk to him about the history. So it was the first time I heard his story. So that was really nice.
So Marty, what shocked me was you post a picture of all his buckles. And so I'm zooming in on them. I thought he had Western States. I thought he had like 4 or 5 Western States buckles. And then you listen to podcasts. He said he's never run Western States.
Nope.
So that's impressive. Well, here's a clip from it, and this is actually talking about Western States.
It had purposely been hidden, and so I spent a year with a friend researching and interviewing people who witnessed all this and found a lot of some of these soldiers who had finished in 1972 the Western States 100 course with the horses before Gordy did. And Gordy even watched them do it, and it probably gave him an idea to do it. But this had never been told. So after a year, we published the article, and it was kind of a bombshell, and kind of rewrote the origin history for Western states. And also I learned that there were many other 100-milers before Western states, even on trails. Western states was not the first. So kind of these early historians for Western states kind of went over the top in promoting that iconic race, claiming they were the first and so forth, and they weren't. And Gordy wasn't the first. And so I tried to correct that history.
There goes Jeff's chances of getting pulled next year.
Oh,
You know
come
what
on.
that
Everyone
reminded
knows.
me of? As soon as when I was hearing him say that was the Badwater toughest race on earth or something like that. It's the same thing. It's the same sort of promotional marketing geniuses.
Right.
And
The Gordy story is a lot. It rolls off the tongue a lot better than.
It was also cool to hear Marty went in. They were talking about Kelly Agnew and the cheating of Kelly Agnew. So it was great that Marty got that footage from Davy Crockett, because I'd known the story. I knew Davy had found it had suspected something, but then we also got the Mike Melton version of it when we were down at Death at Dupree. So we're going to try and put those two together and come up with a fun video. Which is cool.
I think the two of them together that'd be a nice conversation.
Yeah.
Or
a road trip with Mike Melton and Davy Crockett.
We could all go run Davy's race, the Pony Express 100.
Yeah.
I just got an ad for that too. So if someone's listening.
Oh, they're listening. They're definitely listening. Yeah. All right. Some other updated information. We're starting to put together the Summer Slam races down here in Florida. You got this is the original Summer Slam. So it's Lake Baldwin, which they just set the date for July 12th. And we got a new race director. I got that too, sitting right here. We got a new race director, Diana Ramirez. She will be taking over she'll be taking over Lake Baldwin. I'm meeting with the new person for Dirty Beer. We got to set the date this week, and then PTC. So that date's always set, and we sold out this week. So Pinellas Trail Challenge is sold out, and it's 28 deep on the wait list. So if you're thinking of running it, get on that wait list. We usually, because it's a free race, we usually go through at least 150 runners on that wait list. So I don't know if you guys have looked at that, who's running it this year. We can go down the list. You have 4 returning winners. So you got Mark Burgett, who's the course record holder. Alex Rosier, who's only ran one ultra last year. He finished in front of me. I think he was 3rd or 4th last year. Desi Wilson, who won it last year. You got Eric Klena, who's always strong. Vince Carter, who I train with. He ran a good race. He beat me by about 5-6 minutes last year. Gus is coming down. Gustave from New York. He ran a good race. Brian Charbonneau, who I think is one of the top trail runners in the state. He's coming to run. That's who I'm going out to Cocodona with. David Whiteside, former runner, former winner. I've chased that guy down, tried to chase that guy down many races. Richard Garcia, so I was second behind David Whiteside, and I've been second behind Richard Garcia. So there's another winner. Richard Garcia also ran well at Long Haul a few years ago. Shea Fredericks coming in. Matt Clapper. Loanne's there.
So that means we don't get a Clapper aid station.
No, that was awesome.
The best aid station I've ever been to in my entire running career.
Mike Alberts, Jeff Iosa, Sage Lyons, Olin Dalton, Katie Rosar, Julian Long is on there, Lucas Vidal.
But is Arian?
I don't know. I don't know if he is. And I don't know, is Katie, I don't know if you're still in the chat. Katie, you on here? So,
yeah, Jeff listed all those fast people. There's a party in the middle, in the back with me and the
holy
rest of the people. So
you're just looking at this list and you're like, there's Bobby Joe on there, Kevin Caudell. I mean, you're just going down. I'm sure Nick is on here somewhere. He better be on there. I'm gonna kick his ass. Yeah, man, this is gonna be a hell of a race. Well, now the thing is we don't know if all these people are gonna show up. So we're hoping Katie is running PTC. So we're hoping everyone keeps coming, but most likely we're gonna drop a lot of those top runners. But it should be a fun run. We're looking at hosting Pacer Travel a dinner on Friday night. So we're hoping to invite all you guys that are always in the chat and stuff for dinner, and so we'll have some more information on that. But it's gonna be a great race. So we are.
Last time I showed up to your house, you didn't have any food for me, so
that's not my fault. I wasn't the race director. So, and I had noted that we needed vegan food there, and that was not relayed. So I apologize for that. Cool deal. Oh, Tyler's on there. Nice. Oh, great story about Tyler. First time I ever seen Tyler was at PTC, and he had the bloodiest nipples I'd ever seen. I think it ran all the way down to his shorts. He had a white shirt on, and it ran all the way down to his shorts. I'm like, who the heck is this guy? So, what did Tyler, what did you run last year? What was your time last year? Because I'm going to predict what you're going to run this year. See if he posts it up. I'm hoping I didn't see what.
Remember, he's on a delay.
Yeah, I forgot he's on a delay. Shooting for sub 10. No, we're shooting for sub 8. Tyler, you got a sub 8 in there. So you definitely have a sub 8 in you. So it'll be great. So I'd love to have you guys at my house on the pre-race dinner. Should be a fun time. I'm not far from the finish line here in Dunedin. We'll have more information on the race as we get closer. So hopefully I got to talk Andy into come down and cooking burgers. So all right. Anything else we missed?
All right, we covered a lot. This was a good one.
Yep.
Congrats to everybody who's stuck around with us.
Yep. Don't forget Aid Station Coffee. If you go on Etsy, he's on there. Joe Miller. He's looking for a pacer for the what's that race? What's the Skunk Ape 100 miler? So I know I owe him pacing duty, so I may try and get out there. But I need to text him. I don't know. I'm curious if he's going out to Withlacoochee. I got to get some more coffee from him. So we'll see on that. Thank you, Marty, for being out here, and James, appreciate you jumping in.
Thanks.
Always great talking to you. I got a little running thing I want to talk to you later about. A little running adventure. I want to talk to you about later on. So, anything else we're missing?
I just wanted to promote my next podcast coming out. It's probably be tomorrow. It's this dude named Larry Raup. He's with the Warrior Trail Foundation, and man, what an awesome interview for me. You know, this is a great cause. I won't spoil what it's about, but he's running a whole bunch of 200 miler. He's running the Monster 300 next week, and all the Triple Crown and Cocodona, and to bring awareness to this foundation. But it's a really good cause. It's for veterans with PTSD and using trail running as therapy to help them instead of medication. And so it's a really interesting story, his story, and what they do. And so can't wait to share that one. That should be out tomorrow.
Oh, cool deal. Cool deal. And then we'll be up at Bootlegger next not this weekend, next weekend. So we're excited about that. So it should be a good time. So all right.
Tell all your friends, log in. They don't have to watch the whole thing, but just check in with us every once in a while.
And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Trying to build up that subscription, the YouTube subscription. So good deal. All right. Thank you all.
Share
See
it.
you all
Share
next
it
week.
with your friends. Thanks again, James.